I think the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is just one, spending time with the MVP community, spending time with my fellow AE MVPs, just more that week, and it's going to be a great week.
I don't know if you guys saw, but there's at least a session or two talking about .NET Core with XM Cloud and kind of what the pros and cons of going that route versus Next.js are.
For those still on XM On-Prem, there's going to be an interesting session near the end talking about vNext and how .NET's coming to XM On-Prem.
Are there any other announcements that people are looking forward to hearing more about? Welcome, and thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Sitecore Water Cooler, the casual conversation podcast dedicated to covering all things related to Sitecore, including product updates, implementation insights, getting the most out of your Sitecore investment, and more. I'm your co-host today, Maggie Burke, Sitecore Operations Director and Sitecore MVP at AmericanEagle.com. All right, the time has arrived, folks. Our team is getting ready for one of the biggest digital experience events of the year, Sitecore Symposium 2025, which is happening next week in sunny Orlando, Florida. Whether you're a marketer, developer, strategist, or tech leader, Symposium is where the Sitecore community comes together to connect, learn, and get inspired. This year's theme, Next is Now, is all about putting cutting-edge ideas like AI-driven personalization, composable architectures, and smarter content strategies into real-world practice. In this episode, we'll share what to expect from the event, tips to make the most of your time in Orlando, and a few can't-miss sessions and networking opportunities, including some of our own. So grab your conference badge, maybe your sunscreen, and let's get ready for Sitecore Symposium 2025. We are joined today by various members of our Sitecore team to talk through all of the exciting things to come as we make our way to Orlando next week. Gentlemen and Nona, welcome to the water cooler.
Thanks, Maggie.
Do you like my sunscreen joke there, Alex?
That's great.
Listen, I'm 100% Irish. I got to pack all the sunscreen, like 100 proof, all that stuff. So had to get that in there. So, all right. So talking about Sitecore Symposium, I feel like I'm blinked and it is here again because I feel like we were just in Nashville. But, you know, Sitecore Symposium, as I mentioned, is Sitecore's big annual conference that really just brings together people from all different parts of the community, whether you're marketers, whether you are developers, whether you are tech leaders, to really just kind of understand what are the latest and greatest things that are happening in the Sitecore ecosystem, as well as really just hearing from client perspectives and customer stories of not just the what is available, but how they got there and what happened and the stories that are surrounding that, which I think is really helpful for people to hear. So as we gear up for next week, you know, there's a few things that are going to be happening, and we really kick things off with MVP Summit. And I've talked about MVP Summit on this podcast before, but it's really just, you know, an event that is circled around people that were awarded Sitecore MVP for 2025, whether that's through just different contributions, speaking engagements, things like that. And it's really just a really nice way of Sitecore giving back to the MVPs that really put their heart and soul into just kind of talking through and really bolstering things around Sitecore itself. So MVP Summit's going to start on Monday, and it's going to really just have like a lot of kind of executive sessions from the leadership team at Sitecore, and then lead into the MVP event that's actually happening at SeaWorld, we found out last week, which I'm very excited about. And then as we then go into the conference, it's actually split this year, where then the roundtable sessions are going to be happening at the end of the week. So want to actually start with James really quick, because you had some really good feedback in terms of them actually splitting it up this year, because in the past it's always been that MVP Summit was either at the beginning of the conference or it was at the end, but now they're kind of doing a little bit at the beginning and then a little bit more at the end. So James, can you give us some ideas around some feedback about why you think that's actually going to be really helpful this year?
Yeah, so it used to be at the end of the summit, which worked out pretty well because you get all the announcements, you get all the discussions, and then you can kind of hammer into the technical details, the MVP Summit. But one of the challenges there is you didn't have the context up front. So like during the conference, as you're talking with clients and with each other, you might be blindsided by some announcements and not know the direction that Sitecore is going. So you're not confident in the consultations that you're doing. So it's kind of worth having something up front to just align with Sitecore, understand where they're at, where they're going, so that you kind of know where to talk to. So I think that's why it moved to the front initially. But then the challenge was there's still some secrets that Sitecore wanted to hide. So there's still some surprises. Or you go to some deep dive sessions and you get some more questions and you want to hash it out in discussions with those roundtable discussions. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, where you get the alignment up front and then the discussions in the back. But a new problem that did arise is travel arrangements. And if someone is only coming from the MVP Summit, which day do they go to? So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back to the end of the conference.
Yeah, we'll see where it kind of falls and stuff like that. I think there's going to be pros and cons to any arrangement. So, but I think this will be nice because, to your point, it kind of allows for there to be some of those announcements up front. You kind of get an idea of, okay, what to expect to hear at the conference. You know, we signed NDAs, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we know we can't talk about it, but then it gets announced, and then you have those roundtable sessions to really kind of better understand, okay, this is what I heard at the conference. Now let's talk about it more, because these are some kind of key takeaways that we can use as the MVP community to really help kind of foster and empower our clients and our customer bases. So I think that will be good. I wanted to talk through this with Nona, yourself, Alex, Casey, because this is your first MVP summit. So first of all, obviously, congrats to being MVPs for your first time this year. Anything you guys are looking forward to in terms of the summit?
I think the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is just one, spending time with the MVP community, spending time with my fellow AE MVPs, just more that week, and it's going to be a great week. But also just learning and kind of going into a symposium, having some idea of what that roadmap's going to be with those pre-sessions for MVP Summit, and then getting to enjoy the conference and go to sessions, go to the booth, things like that. And then moving into the roundtables at the end, like, it kind of allows you to have that full circle experience of the conference with the way they have things set up. So I think that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, is just a lot of the roadmap announcements and things like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And I mean, outside of connecting with the MVP community, which is obviously huge, but it's also just getting to see what MVP Summit is all about. So MVP Summit has always kind of been this, like, not hush thing, but it's always kind of been this, like, behind closed doors, who knows what goes on, right? And now you're going to get to see that firsthand. So
yeah,
super
exciting. Like I said, you guys had to sign me NDAs too, so now you get to see what's behind the magic. How about yourself, Nona?
Yeah, so hi, nice to be here with you. This year, it was my first time I visited Sitecore Europe. And I don't know what to expect when I go there, but I was so surprised by the community vibe of people. They're so friendly and so open. It's really the community I didn't expect. And now with the symposium and the summit, I will finally have a chance to meet people in face, not only names in GitHub and Slack. And also, I will meet some of the clients which we are working for more than 3-4 years. Wow. I never met them in person, so I'm really excited about that, having people in one place and talk and share the ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's a great point, because I think that's the cool part, right? Like, everybody gets to see, you know, LinkedIn posts and, you know, Slack handles and things like that. But now you're really actually putting, you know, a face to a name and things like that. So that's always a cool part. And then to your point too, like, the community's always been extremely friendly. It gives everybody the opportunity to really just strip down okay, it doesn't matter what partner you're at. It doesn't matter what your role is. Doesn't matter what facet of your agency or, you know, customer you work for. It really is just, hey, we're all working on a similar platform. Let's share ideas. Let's, you know, get a chance to just kind of go through different ideas and whatnot too. So I think that's a great part about, you know, specifically MVP Summit, but then even more so than leading into the conference. So I think those are great notes to make. Is everybody excited for the MVP event at SeaWorld? Gaurav, I swear, you know, we had axe throwing 2 years ago. Last year was at an arcade, but we didn't face off on anything. I'll find something in SeaWorld for us to face off on, and I will beat you because, like I said, I'm not great at axe throwing, but I'll find something in SeaWorld that I can be good at.
I'll see you. No problem.
Sounds good. All right. Well, then that's kind of MVP Summit. Obviously, really looking forward to that, and really looking forward to seeing kind of how the format works in terms of the breakdowns in the beginning and towards the end. But then as we, you know, wrap up the first day of MVP Summit, then we really get into actual symposium, right? And that's the big annual conference. We're going to hear a lot of, you know, things from keynote speakers, a lot from the Sitecore leadership team on all the just exciting announcements that they have coming up. Is there any specific sessions that people are kind of looking forward to? Gaurav, maybe we can start with you just on any sessions that you're looking forward to making the trip for.
Yeah, so it's always great to attend the Sitecore Symposium in person. The energy, the people, the innovation. So there are many good sessions, but I'm excited for some of them. Like first of all, the keynote next is now. That is from Alex Stein, the Sitecore CEO. So he will talk about the limitation of today's disconnected marketing solutions. Then there is session by Roger Connolly about speed, scale, and trust. It's again like AI world. So he's going to talk about the AI advantage for marketers. So there is session by our colleague Jonathan Price again. It's this time he's talking with the Vision. So how's Vision to Sitecore to personalize, integrate, and innovate on a complex B2B healthcare landscape. And the section I'm really curious about Jesse Cole. He's a founder and owner of Savannah Banana. So he's going to talk about his 5 E's, and his team has a 1 billion social media views and 500 million fans are already waiting for the ticket. The season is even not started yet. So it's a great thing to know.
And it's just fun to say Savannah Bananas, to be honest. Savannah Bananas. I just love saying that. So
yeah, there's some more like event. Like there's one event session from the Jared from American Eagle. He's also talking with Gromar. And the session I'm most really excited about the Maggie event. Sorry.
There we
Maggie.
go. I was going to say, I remember last year you had a full list and I was not on there. So I'm glad you're most excited for mine.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the Citadel Credit Union. Yes. So it's going to be excited this year as well.
Yeah. No, that's going to be great. It's a very robust list, Gaurav.
Are you not excited for mine, Gaurav?
Ooh.
No.
Now you're getting another call out.
Yeah.
You can't catch them all. There's so many, right?
Mix some.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to attend Alex section because I work for the United client. So
they know where I'm He's going to film it. It's going to be a whole thing. Actually, you're allowed to film though.
Yes. I'll be at the door for you.
Yeah, right. There you go. There you go. Jared, any sessions that you're kind of looking forward to? Anything specific?
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like a big theme this year is AI, outside of Sitecore, inside of Sitecore. And Rich and Mo from Sitecore are doing a talk about harnessing AI for content creation and, talking about some of their new AI-driven flows and experiences. So really looking forward to us seeing that, as well as there's another session actually with Rich and Rob from Sitecore about custom headless apps and what we can do there and maybe a nice example or two. So
nice.
Share some knowledge. So
focusing on all of Rich's session because Rich is your best friend over there. So.
Yeah, Rich is a good guy.
Yeah, for sure. I say that because you guys spoke together last year, but no, very cool. I think that's a great lead in too, because obviously there's going to be a lot surrounding just kind of AI and AI enablement and things like that within the conference. And I know, Ahmed, we just participated in Sitecore's AI hackathon. We can't give too many details away about it right now, but anything that you can kind of throw some teasers in there about?
Yeah, so then the official name is the Agentic AI Partner Challenge. And on Wednesday, there is a showcase session around 10 a.m. So basically what it is that Sitecore was sent out like a request to all of the partners, hey, like we want to challenge partners to build a real production-ready solutions that solves a meaningful business problems. So that's kind of like the highlight of the challenge. That was like around month and a half ago, and so we submitted our ideas. One of our ideas got picked, so we started building that. Basically, like you can utilize AI, Sitecore Marketplace, all of the available like Sitecore products to build something that can solve a business problem. Nice. So hopefully like we submitted this like last week and
we're just waiting to hear back. Yeah. So we'll see. I know it's going to get announced on the main stage at Symposium, so we'll keep our fingers crossed, but very cool. I know it's a very intuitive and an innovative tool. So excited to see more, hear more about it, and be sure to stop by our Diamond sponsor booth, because after the announcements and things like that, regardless of the outcome, we'll definitely be talking more about our tool coming up here during and post Symposium. So that's great. Any announcements that we are looking forward to? I know specifically James and I were fortunate enough to attend some of the Gradial enablement sessions that the North American sales team participated in about a month ago. And, it was really cool to kind of get a sneak peek into what that partnership is going to look like. And I'm definitely very excited to hear more and see more at Symposium, because I know there's going to be a lot of excitement around just kind of how they're going to partner together to really empower marketers. Are there any other announcements that people are looking forward to hearing more about?
Now that, XM Cloud's more matured, they're able to start thinking about the next wave of innovations. And so they're planting some seeds about something called Sitecore Signals, a new content platform with Microsoft. So Liz has a couple sessions there that would be interesting to see kind of the future innovations of the platform. And I'm excited about those, just kind of see where things are going.
There is one from Vercel, like Alex Hawley, which is like used to the American Eagle alumni.
He was an Eagle.
He was an Eagle. And he now works with Vercel. He specifically works with partners. So he has a session on like accelerating publish to view, which is like a common issue with XM Cloud, like where like you publish your content, you have to wait for Vercel to kind of like refresh the cache. At American Eagle, we have like built many solutions for this, like from like attaching to the publish queue or like event and just like revalidating the cache, or like manually just trigger that from the content editor interface. But I would love to see like what they have in their pocket for this. Like if Vercel is going to come out with like out of the box solution,
yeah,
that would be nice.
Yeah, definitely more of a kind of technical session. So we're definitely looking forward to that as well.
Hey, one thing new that's happening this year is they're having an on-site hackathon. So there's a lot of training about the marketplace apps, and so it's kind of a way just to engage, get familiar with how to develop a marketplace app, and then try it out and do something quick and see how easy it is to deploy it. So that should be interesting to be a part of, and then there's going to be a prize too. So
yeah, everyone loves prizes, of course. And then also I feel like, we just did our podcast all about Sitecore Marketplace. So even hearing more about kind of announcements there and things like that will be cool. And then really just getting hands-on experience with this hackathon event that they're kind of putting into place at Symposium will be exciting as well. Another one that I know we're excited about is we're actually sponsoring an exclusive CMO luncheon on day 2 of Symposium. And that's going to be hosted by Sitecore CMO Michelle, but John Price is actually sitting in as a guest panelist on the fireside chat for that. So I know we're really looking forward to it because it's really more of a curated list of marketing professionals that are invited to that. So that one will be a good session as well. Any other ones?
One that kind of sparked me was Jacqueline Baxter's has a content audit session, so I always enjoy her sessions in the last few symposiums. So I think she's a thought leader in a lot of ways in the content space. So I'm interested to kind of hear her session on kind of that content audit.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Jacqueline's always been kind of spearheading a lot of the kind of content and, just kind of creativity around that and stuff too. But then also like best practices with, audits and even just empowering that into personalization. So that should definitely be a good session to attend.
Yep.
And for those still on XM on-prem, there's going to be an interesting session near the end talking about vNext and how .NET's coming to XM on-prem.
That's awesome too, because I think that's a good point to make, right? Not everybody that's attending Symposium is going to be on or going to XM Cloud right away. So things that are catered more to just kind of the people that are on, XM or XP is also going to be exciting to hear and stuff too, and really just kind of enablement there. So it's a really good point.
Yep. Yeah, and talking about .NET, I don't know if you guys saw, but there's at least a session or two talking about .NET Core with XM Cloud. And kind of what the pros and cons of going that route versus Next.js are. Thought it'd be interesting to attend. I know we've gotten some inquiries over the past about, what should we go with? Is Next.js really the answer? We're a Microsoft shop. We want to stick with .NET Core. What does that look like? This and that. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of progress has been made there.
Definitely. Kind of considerations to make, pros, cons, things like that. Because to your point, that's a good thing to be able to kind of walk through with clients, prospects, things like that too, because those are questions that come up. So sounds like there's a lot of great sessions that we'll be looking forward to next week. And speaking of which, we've actually got our own sessions that we'll be talking about. So we've got quite a few on the list. I know Gaurav hit on them. We won't talk about Alex's session that he forgot, but it's fine. Just kidding. So Jared, you mind talking to us a little bit about your session with our customer Growmark?
Yeah, sure. So I'll be speaking with our client Growmark about our recent project, building out the new FS Cooperatives website. And FS Systems, it's an agricultural cooperative that supports 37 member organizations. They all manage and operate their own brands and experience. And we're going to talk about how we unify their product search across multiple brands, divisions, using Sitecore Search, everything within, a single XM Cloud instance. There's even a little bit about a marketplace app we built to go along with it. And then, just join us if you want to hear more, dive into technical details, insights, and some of our lessons learned.
Yeah, absolutely. And that one's actually going live, I think, the week after Symposium, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny because that was Westfield for us last year. We had a speaking session and they went live the week following Symposium. So shout out to Molly at Growmark. Exciting times to go to a conference right before launch. But that just speaks to the team and how well things have been built. So really looking forward to that session. Alex, you're going to be joined by United Airlines. Can you tell us a little bit about your session?
Yeah, that'll be really cool. So for everyone that was at Symposium last year, you probably saw that we announced that we were working with United on their digital signage transformation, and that was really the beginning of their journey. So that was when we had first started migrating their first set of signs over to XM Cloud, and now a year later, we're across the finish line. So all of their signs have been migrated. They're fully on XM Cloud off of XP, and our session is really going to dive into what it takes to accomplish a migration of that scale. So not only from the business side, but also from the technical side. So it'll be a panel discussion that'll dive into everything from kind of beginning, like laying the foundation all the way through the project, and then at the end, anything like lessons learned that we...
Nice. Yeah. Very exciting. And you'll be joined by Charlie Hong from that team, MVP over at Sitecore, and really excited. He's spoken with us a few times, and we're really happy to have him on stage with us again. So that'll be a great session. I'll be sure to attend it without Gaurav.
Me too.
Yep, there you go. I myself will be speaking with our client, Citadel Credit Union. I'll be joined by my ladies over there, Mary and Morgan. We actually spoke at a conference in April at Financial Brand Forum and endearingly called ourselves the Triple M Trio. So we're just sticking with that at this point. But we're really going to just kind of look into how they're evolving their digital experience to really just help with bettering their member engagement and optimizing the journey for their financial members on their site. So we're going to really be discussing some of the initiatives that we've partnered with them on this year to kind of strategize and implement. And that's different tool sets, financial calculators, some personalization tactics and whatnot. Well, then also just really diving into their future plans. They're on XM and XP, or they're on XP right now. So really just talking about their future plans and kind of roadmap into the future. So it's definitely going to be a can't miss session. I'm sure there'll be some jokes made and things like that. But really looking forward to kind of talking specifically around the financial services area as well. We also have two sessions from our own Jonathan Price with our clients Amatec and Vizient. So be sure to attend those. He told us earlier in the week that we're probably not going to see much of him at Symposium because he's speaking quite a bit. And I made the joke that he's probably just going to be writing It's a Small World just round and round. And that's what he's actually going to be doing during the conference. So I think that might be what he's doing right now since he's not able to join us. But looking forward to those because those will be really cool sessions as well. Well, speak of the devil, now he did just join. So, hey, John, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Where are your... I just want to know where your Mickey ears are.
My Mickey ears?
Yeah.
Oh, they're already packed. I'm so excited to join Symposium.
Oh, you're ready. You're packed. You're ready to go. So, yeah, Mickey ears are in stow. Or
yeah,
tow,
the entire family's got them ready.
Okay, cool. So we were just talking a little bit about kind of our sessions and things that we're looking forward to and looking forward to speaking with. Can you give us a little bit of insight into your sessions that you have coming up with Amatec and Vizient?
Yeah, would be happy to. So we are speaking with a great customer of ours, Vizient, a large B2B healthcare provider. We are on the main stage day one. I think we're the first session up. And the session's really focused around how Vizient's kind of accelerating their customer experiences, leveraging personalization and AI, right? There's a lot of organizations kind of struggling on how to leverage AI. And we feel Vizient's definitely one of the leaders in kind of cutting through that noise. So it's kind of all centered around leveraging Sitecore Personalize and the Sitecore Composable stack on kind of pushing their customer initiatives. So super excited for that 10-minute main stage. I'm not going to tease any more or spill any more secrets, but super excited about that one for sure. And then we're also talking with Amatec. Amatec is currently going through their XM Cloud journey. They have 200 plus sites in their ecosystem, and we're helping them transition everything to Sitecore XM Cloud. So many of the people on this podcast and in this room are leveraging or working on that project. So I don't want to steal their thunder, but we're leveraging XM Cloud to basically provide governance and giving the AMETEK the power to provision sites pretty much at the drop of a pin at pretty much any time sake. So going to be going over kind of that XM Cloud journey. Going to be going over some intellectual property we built, our Site Factory Accelerator and our XM Cloud AI tooling, and how we're kind of getting them over quickly and efficiently. So a little bit there as well.
Yeah, that one's going to be very exciting. Both are going to be very exciting, of course. So looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward on the AMETEK side to just even seeing just some of the Site Wizard stuff and that site generator and things like that. So thanks, John. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it. I did say that you would likely just be reading It's a Small World around for hours and we wouldn't see you. So
sure.
I'm glad you were able to hop on.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Well, you know what? I will say that we have a lot upcoming for Symposium. So we're very excited. We're gearing up for it next week. We are a Diamond sponsor, so be sure to stop by our booth for a chance to win 4 tickets to a 2026 Savannah Bananas game. Again, I just love saying Savannah Bananas. This is a nod to the keynote speaker, Jesse Cole, who's the founder and owner of the Savannah Bananas, and just kind of how he took his franchise to the moon, essentially, with audience engagement. My cousin actually threw out the first pitch at one of the Savannah Banana games this summer, so I have a personal note of wanting to just hear his story and hear more about it, and just, again, making that connection of how, you know, something like a founder and owner of a baseball team really connects into the tech world. I feel like every year they always have, you know, these great keynote speakers, and they're from different verticals and different areas, but they still find a way to make a connection to how it really translates into the, you know, technical and digital space. So looking forward to that, but be sure to stop by our booth for a chance to win 4 tickets to a game next year. And then also be sure to stop by our booth because we're doing things that are specific to XM Cloud Now activities. And it's really just kind of showcasing a lot of what John just spoke to with our accelerator and digital factory and how we can really help streamline, you know, clients' migrations to XM Cloud. So we'll be able to actually show you in action our tools for your website at our booth. So definitely be sure to stop by and check out things around our accelerator and digital factory. All right. So yeah, definitely really looking forward to everything that's going to happen at Sitecore Symposium. It's always an exciting event every year. And, you know, with it being in Orlando this year, you know, John always calls me a Disney adult, whether that's true or not, we don't know, but we're excited for it. I'm excited that it's in Orlando. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So really looking forward to seeing everybody down in Orlando next week. So James, Ahmed, Alex, Gaurav, Jared, Nona, Casey, and John. Holy, that is a mouthful. Thank you all for joining us at the Water Cooler today. I look forward to collaborating with you guys in the future, and we hope to have you back on the Water Cooler again soon. Thanks for listening to the Sitecore Water Cooler podcast. Find out more information about AmericanEagle.com's Sitecore services and today's topic in the description below. This episode is brought to you by AmericanEagle.com Studios. I'm your host, Maggie Burke, and special thanks to our executive producers, Renee Nelson, Julia Klepage, and Brian Winger.